Today we're Dragon Storming, but with Dracogenesis and in Standard. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Seth from Olive, and it's time for another edition, our first Tarkir Dragonstorm edition of Against the Odds, and we have a sweet one. We are heading to our new Tarkir Dragonstorm Standard to do some dragon storming, quite literally with the help of Dracogenesis, and this deck is incredibly sweet. So let's talk about this deck, what it's trying to do, jump into some games, and see the dragon storming in action. So we are built around Dracogenesis. This is our key card, and the idea of our deck is if we resolve a Dracogenesis, we're planning on trying to win the game that exact turn. So what does Dracogenesis do? For 8 mana, it makes it so we can play dragons without paying their mana cost. Honestly, when I first read this card, I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. But Omniscience isn't standard. Wouldn't I just rather ramp a little bit more and play Omniscience and have everything for free? But there's actually a twist between Dracogenesis and Omniscience. Omniscience lets you play spells from your hand for free. Dracogenesis lets you play dragons for free from anywhere, and that's actually really essential to our combo working today. But anyway, Dracogenesis, step 1 is we got to get on the battlefield. So we have a bunch of ramp. Overlord of the Hauntwoods ramps us. Bloomvine Regent, a dragon that has Omen, and the Omen mode ramps us like a Cultivate for only basic forest. Encroaching Dragonstorm ramps us 2 basics. If we play dragon, we bounce it back to our hand. I've actually been pretty impressed with these dragon bounce enchantments. Pretty much all of them have seemed very solid so far. So we ramp and ramp and ramp to get up to Dracogenesis, and then how do we combo kill with the card? So our key combo piece is Hoarding Broodlord. So Hoarding Broodlord, an 8 mana 7/6 flying dragon. When it enters, we can search our library for a card, exile it face down, and we can play that card as long as it remains exiled. Also has some Convoke stuff on there, which doesn't really matter. So this is where you can see where Dracogenesis is different than Omniscience. If we had an Omniscience in our combo, we could play a Hoarding Broodlord from our hand for free, and then we'd exile a card, but then we couldn't play that card from exile for free because it's not in our hand. With Dracogenesis, if we tutor up a dragon with Hoarding Broodlord, we can cast it for free from exile. So step 1 of the combo is you play Dracogenesis, you play a Hoarding Broodlord, we tutor up another Hoarding Broodlord, and we cast that one for free, and then another Hoarding Broodlord, and we do that till we have all 4 of our Hoarding Broodlords on the battlefield. It gets even more spectacular if we happen to have a Stormscale Scion or Up the Beanstalk. Stormscale Scion is one of our best finishers. It's a new 6 mana 4/4 flying dragon, but it has the storm mechanic. So we get to copy it for each spell cast before it during the turn. It also gives our other dragons +1/+1. So if we cast Dracogenesis and then 4 Hoarding Broodlords, that means our storm count is already on 5. So if we play a Stormscale Scion, we're going to get 6 total copies of it, which is a huge amount of dragons, a huge amount of buffing. If we have Up the Beanstalk, as we're casting all these free Broodlords in Dracogenesis and Stormscale Scions, we just draw a card each time, which means as we combo, we could just draw literally our entire deck if we wanted to. So those cards, not necessarily necessary to win, but they do make the combos even more spectacular. The actual win, the most common win, there's 2 paths to winning with the combo. The most common, Song of Tatanzad, which for 1 red mana gives all of our creatures haste until end of turn. So the idea is we Dracogenesis, play a Hoarding Broodlord, tutor up all 4 Hoarding Broodlords. Our last Broodlord gets a Song of Tatanzad, and then since we can cast the spells from exile with Convoke, even though Song of Tatanzad is not a dragon, so we can't cast it for free with Dracogenesis, as long as we have any red creature, any red dragon on the battlefield, like for example our Stormscale Scion or anything, we can just tap one of our dragons and cast Song of Tatanzad, give all the Hoarding Broodlords, all of our Stormscale Scions, all of our creatures haste, hit our opponent for a few hundred damage, and win the game on the spot. The other way we can win is Terror the Peaks. So Terror the Peaks, whenever a creature enters, we deal damage equal to its power to any target. So if we play Terror the Peaks before we play the Hoarding Broodlords, so we play Dracogenesis, play Terror the Peaks, then we just cast the Hoarding Broodlords and deal 28 damage at our opponent's face directly. If that's not enough, the last one can get the Stormscale Scion to make like 6 or 7 more dragons, which are going to deal a huge amount of damage to our opponent. So that's the combo of the deck. Otherwise, we have some dragon removal, Twin Maw Stormbrood, Disruptive Stormbrood. Essentially, they're cheap Omen removal spells that also work as dragons later, so we can cast them for free with Dracogenesis to gain some life, blow up some artifacts and enchantments. The mana base kind of janky. It's basically rule-based, but then we have a bunch of basics that we can tutor up with all our ramp spells, and then Maelstrom of the Spirit Dragon. It doesn't come up often, but it's actually very powerful in the deck, because for 4 mana we can sack it to tutor up a dragon. So if we don't have like our Hoarding Broodlord, we can wait till we get up to like 8 or 9 mana, sack a Maelstrom of the Spirit Dragon on our opponent's end step to get the Hoarding Broodlord, cast the Broodlord can find the Dracogenesis, and then the next turn we can try to start the combo and win from there. And that is Dracogenesis Dragonstorm combo. That's our Gets the Odds deck for this week. And this deck is super sweet. So let's get to the video so you can see it in action. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy the gameplay, and I'll be back in a bit for the wrap up. Need some magic cards? Well, you can snag them from our sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Want to help out the channel? Well, you can snag these super sweet new dice, playmats, tokens, and more over at mtggoldfishmerch.com. Against the odds time, it is Dracogenesis Dragonstorm time. And if this works, it's going to be pretty spectacular. This hand, no Dracogenesis, but we get some removal, actually multiple pieces of removal. We get a bunch of ramp, and ramp is arguably even more important than having Dracogenesis in hand. We don't need the Terror of the Peaks here. Because without ramp, we're never going to get on the bet. Okay, there's the Dracogenesis. So now we just got a ramp, and we need Hoarding Broodlord is our easiest combo piece. We could potentially tutor it up with a land eventually, but that takes an extra turn. Well, yeah, let's play the land, get down, Overlord of the Hauntwoods, do a little ramping. Well, we got to get up to 8 mana. I have found these silly dragon enchantments to look really good. Wow, there's Hoarding Broodlord. Okay. Fortunate. Not bad, not bad. We could theoretically win next turn. Actually, I don't know if we win next turn, because we don't have a red dragon for haste. We need 1 red creature for haste, and we don't have a red creature. Maybe if we draw a red dragon. Well, no, we need to draw land too. Probably 2 turns. We probably need 2 turns. Well, Encroaching Dragonstorm. Grab a couple lands. These enchantments, I have seen almost every one of them be played. I don't think I've seen the white one, but I've seen all of them except the white one be played, and they've actually looked really good. I will say dragons might actually be a sleeper, and these enchantments might be double sleepers, because even if dragons are good, I wasn't really expecting they would be good. Opponent doing some plotting over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, all right, we don't win, but we can do a big thing. I guess there's no reason. I mean, yeah, we don't have haste, so we don't win this turn, but this is still gonna be insane. Dracogenesis, Hoarding Broodlord. When it enters, we get to tutor something from exile, which is gonna be, guess what? Another Hoarding Broodlord. And then we'll play a Hoarding Broodlord and tutor up a Hoarding Broodlord. And then I think we'll find a Hoarding Broodlord with our Hoarding Broodlord. Now, if we had a red creature, this is where we just tutor up haste and win. So instead, I think we just tutor up probably Stormscale Scion and be like, all right, Teamer deck, if you can Wrath us, sweet. If not, you're dead next turn. We might as well dump our hand dragons too. Disruptive Stormbrood, not gonna blow anything up. Just up the storm count. Twin Maw Stormbrood, gain a little life. And last but not least, how about a Stormkill Scion Storm 7? All right, our opponent has 4 lands, and we did this. I think we might be playing a different game than our opponent. Would you like to unplot something, opponent? Teamer Battle. I mean, our opponent might actually have a little pop-off turn here. I don't think it's going to be as big of a pop-off turn. Teamer Battle Crier times 2. So all their stuff costs 3, 6 less now. It is a cool idea. Maybe you can combo off with, well, another Outcaster Trailblazer. Make some mana. I feel like our opponent's problem is going to be they're going to run out of colored mana, though. Like, they're going to have all the generic mana they need to do whatever they want, and they can draw the cards. Well, wow, 3 Outcaster Trailblazers. And they can draw the cards with Outcaster Trailblazers, but I think they're just going to run out of colored mana, and then the dragons get you. I mean, we do have a little bit of power on the battlefield. Just a smidge. Opponent, Dragonhawker. Man, our opponent actually kind of got close. They get to draw a bunch of cards, and they exile 6? Yeah, they almost got there. They dealt a lot of damage, but I think our dragons are going to deal slightly more. Well, okay, that was not the full combo because we didn't have haste, but that was some pretty good dragon storming. That was some pretty good dragon storming, and opponent negative 153. Well, I think we won. Just by a little. Just by a bit. Sweet. Dracogenesis might actually be busted. It might actually be busted. And the way our combo works, it wouldn't happen with Omniscience, which I actually think is really sweet. Because when I first read Dracogenesis, I almost said Dracogenesis like I'm Tomer. Dracogenesis. Ooh, we're going to keep the Broodlord. That is a combo piece. I was like, well, yeah, I mean, it's cool, but wouldn't I rather just pay 2 more mana and have Omniscience? But because our combo involves casting things from exile for free, it wouldn't work. Omniscience, we literally could not do this combo with Omniscience. It just straight up couldn't happen. So stuff like that always excites me. When a card that looks like a cheaper but worse version of an effect, you're like, no, actually, in the right deck, in the right scenario, it's way better. Well, that's Encroaching Dragonstorm. Do a little rampant, and I mean, we are pretty close to having an absurd turn. You know what's better than casting all of our big dragons for free? Doing it with a Up the Beanstalk on the battlefield. I might hate that this card is legal in Standard, but it's Standard. We're not playing Commander. Even if you hate it, sometimes you play it. Well, let's play a Surveil land. Copperline Gorge. Well, let's run out the Terror of the Peaks. The only bad news is... and I don't know if this is actually... This is very, very much first world problems or whatever, but we might not get that spectacular of a combo because we have this Terror of the Peaks and our opponent might just die before we get to do the fun things. Oh, thank you, opponent. Okay. Opponent kills. We don't have to worry about that now. Opponent gets rid of the Terror of the Peaks. Now we can do the fun thing. Let's do a little ramping with the dragon, Bloomvine Regent, get a couple forests, and play an Encroaching Dragonstorm to snag a couple of mountains and play the tap land. Well, next turn should be pretty cool. I'm just saying it should be pretty cool. A lot of people, one of the things I also like about this combo for content is it's not obvious you're dead right away because you're like, well, they're making a big board, but it doesn't have haste. Well, let's do it. Dracogenesis. Draw a card. Hoarding Broodlord. Draw a card with Up the Beans. Ooh, there's the Song of Tanzan. So the haste is in hand. Draw a card. Get a Broodlord. And how about a Broodlord? 7/6 number 2. And how about a Broodlord? And play Broodlord. Draw a card. And what are we getting now? I guess it really doesn't matter. Up the Beanstalk. I mean, we can probably play our entire deck here if we wanted to. We won't, out of respect for our opponent. But we probably could actually, we could just do this all day long. So let's play the Twin Maw, gain some life. Let's play another Twin Maw, draw 2 cards, gain some life. And Twin Maw-tron, assembled. And this might be... Oh, okay, we'll play the Broodlord. We'll play the Broodlord. We'll play the... Thank you for sitting through this, opponent. Draw 2. And now for the real fun, which is Stormscale Scion. Storm count at 9. And you're about to see some dragons get kind of large. Oh, I love this deck. And our opponent says nice. And now the final piece of the puzzle. Song of Tanzan for 0. Haste up the crew. And here come the dragons. This deck might actually be busted. This deck might actually be kind of busted. It actually seems easy to do this to people. Well, I'm sorry, MTG Hillbilly. Dracogenesis. This card's absurd. Trying to do crazy Dracogenesis Dragonstorm comboing. This hand seems fine. Hello to you, Mythic Mike. We can ramp. That's the most important thing. We got removal, we got ramp. See what our opponent's up to. Ooh, Yotian Frontliner. Some soldier action, eh? Well, let's do some surveilling. Another encroaching. I don't think we need a second one of those. The first one we can pick back up anyway when we play our dragons. I do really like these enchantments. I'm going to have to explore them more, but I feel like these enchantments might actually be kind of good. Opponent surveils and second frontliner. Oh, we might actually have to kill one of those. I don't really want to spend a 5 damage removal spell on a 1-drop, but with both of them, they pump each other. We take 4 next turn, which is a little bit much. Yeah, let's kill the frontliner. Pass the turn. Especially being on the draw this game, I think we just have to... Sanguine Evangelist. We got to focus on staying alive first. We got to try to stay alive. We might see the downside of our Dracogenesis plan, which is it does cost a lot of mana. Well, Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Up to 4. So next turn we can double ramp up to 6, but we're just taking a lot of damage. And a Fenza. Ooh, 900 reviews. Okay, well, we're not taking damage this turn, at least. Opponent finds more Fenza, so we draw a Mountain. Actually, we kind of have a shot. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Do we go to 1? Well, let's do our ramping. Grab a couple of lands. So if we draw an untap, well, if we live, which 4, let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This pumps this, 15. This gets back, 16, 17. Oh, sheltered by, okay. Well, we're definitely dead now. I think we might have just stayed alive, but we definitely do not just stay. Oh, did I miss a Yotan front too? Maybe we go to Yotan pump. Yeah, all right, -1. All right. Well, we might not have drawn the land anyway. Aggro. All right, Legend. Let's see some spice. This hand seems interesting. Very good if we get one more land, although we're going to be kind of mono green. Bloomville Regent, I really like. The forest cultivate on top of the dragon body is really nice in the deck. The only downside is it does only get forest, which with 2 forests in hand might leave us with a very green hand. But we have Up the Beanstalk, which fixes all of life's problems. Up the Beanstalk, it's so busted. Well, forest go. Opponent. Ooh, some Golgari action, eh? Underground Mortuary Mills. Well, there's some red mana. Well, let's play the forest. Get down. Everyone's favorite card, Up the Beanstalk. Opponent. More Surveillance. That's a lot of Surveillance. Wonder if they're a graveyard deck? Well, let's Bloomville Regent. Omen mode. Get a couple more forests. We're ramping pretty quickly. We do need another red source at some point. We have the combo in hand. I mean, we have the Hoarding Broodlord, so... Moldering Gym to do some ramping. I mean, we have the Broodlord, so we should... And we have a red dragon, so we should win the turn. The turn that we play Dracogenesis. Well, let's Bloomvine Regent. Grab a couple forests. One of the things I like about Omens is we're at the point where another Cultivate effect would basically be a dead card. We're 1 mana away. Well, we can't do it next turn. We're at 6. We can go up to 7, so we're 2 turns away and 1 red source away. Overlord of the Hauntwoods would be good. Another Broodlord. Well, let's play the land, and I guess we play the Regent. But what I was trying to say, one of the things I like about these Omen spells is we're at the point where another Cultivate effect would be pretty dead. We're out of forest. But we always just play it as a dragon, and a 4/5 for 5 that gains 3 when it enters is, not bad with flying. It's actually kind of a reasonable effect. Omen might actually be pretty good. It takes some getting used to it shuffling back into your deck. Sometimes I'm like, why do I keep drawing the same card? And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, they're doing shenanigans. Bramble Familiar. Oh, this might be Cascade combo. Invasion of Alara. Usually when I say Bramble Familiar. All right, another one of the Dragonstorm enchantments. A Breaching Dragonstorm spins into a ill-timed explosion. I mean, the problem for our opponent is, which they don't know, if we draw a red source, they die right now. And spectacular. Not only do they die right now, they die spectacularly right now. If we don't draw an untapped red source, well, then we Overlord of the Hauntwoods and we kill him next turn. So our opponent needs... Oh, boy. I am worried about these decks because some of these Cascade decks can really pop off. But this one... Oh, the red source, but a little tepid. Let's just Overlord, full price, draw a card. Play the land. We're not Dirty Domain players, don't worry. Don't worry, Legend. Mill the land. No need no more lands once your dragons are free. All right, well, this is it. Either we die here or we win next turn. We could die here. With all these encroaching Dragonstorm enchantments, There is some chance that there's like a weird cascade combo that leads to us dying. Whenever I see Fetch Quest or Bramble Familiar, I immediately you think, okay, combo. That's the only place people play that card is to combo with it. Ooh, Ureni. Okay, that's actually great for us. Ureni, I think, is very good, and it's going to kill our Overlord of the Hauntwoods. The problem is, 1/10/10 Dragon is not going to stop the Dragon Storm, so let's play Dracogenesis. Ooh. Hoarding Broodlord. Draw a card with Up the Beanstalk. We could win with Terror of the Peaks. What's the fun in that? Hoarding Broodlord. Draw a card. Grab a Hoarding Broodlord. And we got the GGs. Hoarding Broodlord number 3. Draw a card. And now we take the haste in Song of Tanzan. Stormgale Scion. We'll be respectful. Legend is sitting through this for us, so we won't cast the last Broodlord. We'll just go now. Make a relatively big board of dragons. Song of Tanzan. Haste up the crew, and Ureni's pretty good, but we have a lot of big dragons. This deck might actually be real. I'm actually starting to think that Dracogenesis combo could be real. I don't read too much in early access day, but boy, does it do some explosive things. And it doesn't seem that inconsistent, but now let's keep going. We need a land, and then eventually we need a Dracogenesis. If we find those things, we probably combo off. Found it. Is it a? Is it? Well, let's play a Verge. Opponent plays the land and passes. Well, let's play the land and yeah, let's Bloombind Regent. If we Bloombind Regent here, we have the option to full price the Hauntwoods next turn if we want to. So up to 4 mana, land for our opponent, and I'm gonna stock up. Well, I'm feeling good about this one. The hard ones are when our opponent's being aggressive. When our opponent's being aggressive and like curving out. Well, in that case, if we draw an Up the Beanstalk, I think Up the Beanstalk, oh, there's Dracogenesis, into Impending Overlord. So up to 6 mana and another Beans. Oh boy. Comboing off with Up the Beanstalk in hand is the wildest, because we literally can just play through our entire deck potentially. Encroaching Dragonstorm. All right, opponent also doing some dragon ramping, grabbing some lands. Well, let's play another Up the Beanstalk. Draw a card. And yeah, let's run out the full price Overlord here. We still do need to find. So we have the Dracogenesis. We can have like a cute dragon term. And since we have these Up the Beanstalks, we can just start going for it and trust we draw into it. But it is worth mentioning, we do not have Dragonback Assault. Dragonback Assault with encroaching Dragonstorm is actually very good. And we're going to see the synergy here. Make a dragon, pick it up, recast it. So we have a dragon turn, but we don't actually have the win in hand because we don't have our tutor dragon. So we could draw into it though. Dracogenesis, draw 2. We need a Broodlord. Well, let's play a... Well, I guess actually we can win the boring way, can't we? Probably. Terror of the Peaks. Oh, okay, there's the Hoarding Broodlord. Well, I guess we'll just show off the Terror of the Peaks win. I think the Terror of the Peaks win less interesting than the Haste win, or less spectacular, but still pretty sweet. Terror of the Peaks, hit ya. And Stormscale Scion. We could go bigger, but we don't need to. Dragon. Ping ya for 4. Gain some life. Dragon. Ping. This deck's so ridiculous. Did we break it? Did we break it at early access day? Maybe. Found it. Ping ya. And draw some cards. And the last one. And we could have done... Draw? What? What? We weren't even playing slower. This was not a... I mean, we broke Arena many, many times. This did not seem like an arena-breaking kind of deck. Well, I mean, I think it counts as a win. Our opponent's life total is a 0. I'm going to assume that was an arena bug of some kind. But, yeah, that was pretty sweet. I think I might be addicted already. It is possible. Well, okay, I was going to say that Dracogenesis just might be the new Doppelgang. That's probably not true, because part of what makes Doppelgang show up in so many videos is you can play in a lot of different ways, right? Like, yes, you got to be ramping, but beyond that, there's no requirement for Doppelgang. Dracogenesis, why It is equally fun at the moment. Probably won't show up as in many decks just because you do have to beat dragons, right? Like, it's very specific in what it works with. Get down up the beanstalk. I mean, this hand, we don't have to win. Rediscover the way. Spicy. Gonna do a little impulsing. I don't know if Rediscover the Way is good or not. Well, let's do some ramping. Grab some forests. We do need to find our Dracogenesis at some point. We got plenty of ramp. We just don't have a Dracogenesis. So Rediscover the Way. Impulse number 2. So for 3 mana, Sorcery Speed, because it's an enchantment, the first 2 modes draw you, Impulse style. Like, look at the top 3. Ooh, Sunfall. Good to know about that. Although, when we do it, when we win, hopefully we win. Well, there's the Song of Tanzan. Right away with Song of Tanzan. Perfect timing to come off the top of the deck. Do we just Haunt Woods? Yeah, let's just Haunt Woods. And I think we go full price, see if we can get in some more ramping next turn. I wasn't sure if Rediscover the Way opponent really likes Overlord of the Haunt Woods, I guess. Yes, thank you, opponent. Elspeth Stormslay. Ooh, Elspeth the Caretaker's talent. Okay, that actually is kind of nice. Oh, just kills the Haunt Woods. Okay, we don't care. We don't even care about. Chill. so nice. So nice. We don't even really care about Overlord of the Haunt Woods. It's just a ramp spell. What we do care about is ramping even more. Let's get our last 2 forests. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what we can do, this is a slow and painful way to do it, but we can play the Broodlord, tutor up a Dracogenesis. The following turn, play the Dracogenesis. Ooh, Shiko. To get back the Rediscover the Way in token form. Oh, and now they can copy it with Caretaker's talent. I actually love Shiko. We will be seeing Shiko soon. Because being able to turn anything into a token just does some wild things that you should not be able to do in Magic. I also love Shiko. Found it. Gonna make some dorks. The problem with doing it this way, with casting the Hoarding Broodlord to get the Dracogenesis, which I think is what we have to do. But the problem is this is going to leave us without a Hoarding Broodlord to start the combo with Dracogenesis. So we might have actually found a hand where we have a Dracogenesis, but we don't have the ability to win, which is kind of funny. Well, Broodlord, I mean, we definitely have to take Dracogenesis. Also worth mentioning with Broodlord, once you tutor the thing to exile, it is castable even if the Broodlord dies. So we don't have to worry about that. Our opponent might do some sweet things here, though. I think we're going to see some cool synergies with Elspeth and Shiko and this Caretaker's talent. So all of our opponent's tokens are doubled. Their Saga is a token now. Yeah, Caretaker's talent. Gonna copy the Saga. They get 2 of them thanks to Elspeth. So now they impulse twice. Yeah, draws 2 cards. Draws a 3rd card from Caretaker's talent. Get lost on the Broodlord. Okay. I mean, we just need to draw another Broodlord and then we should win even through this, unless they're gonna kill us right now somehow, which looks like no. Gonna make some soldiers. I guess I could also just have like interaction. If they have a counter or even a get lost, the instant speed with the first dragon on this stack could stop us. So if I'd known we were gonna draw Dracogenesis, I would have kept the Broodlord. That's kind of awkward. So we can play Dracogenesis and just like play a couple dragons. Yeah, let's impend the Haunt Woods. We can't win this turn anyway. So let's just wait. Draw a card. Another Regent. Well, let's crack this map. We need to find another. Do we keep Bloomvine? Yeah, we gotta go for the win. Let's mill it. I was thinking we could keep it and just like Dracogenesis, Bloomvine, just gain a bunch of life. But I feel like our opponent's doing degenerate enough of stuff over here and has this Elspeth that can send everything to the air that we might not have the time to win in like, yeah, that's 3 Rediscover the Ways. And now, oh, the last mode gives double strike, doesn't it? Oh, we might be dying. Yeah, it might have been wrong to play the Overlord. Maybe we should have just played Dracogenesis and did what we could. Obviously say, well, all right, I guess they'd get lost anyway, so unlikely to have mattered. Pound it. Gets Lost Star blocker. Double strikes the dragon, pumps the tokens, and looks like death to me. Yeah, I don't think it would have mattered what direction we went there. Well, let's play the land go. This hand's fine. Got some removal, double overlord. Well, okay. Now this hand has become even better. We have the Dracogenesis. Does look like we're up against Boros, though. We'll see if we live long enough. Boros can be pretty aggro. Well, play the swamp. Impend in Overlord of the Hauntwoods. So, last piece is a Broodlord. Also, wouldn't mind a Red Dragon. The Red Dragon's just important because it lets us play the Song of Tanzan for free by tapping a dragon. So if we want to win on the turn that we combo, we do need some way to cast that. Although, it is possible that winning on the turn that we combo is not always necessary or even often. Like, just making like 100 power of dragons. Probably going to win the next turn unless our opponent has a sweeper. Overlord number 2. Making everywhere. So up to what? 6? 7. So we're like theoretically 2 turns away. Ooh, Flamehole Grappler. I love the design. I mean, I love this whole set, but I love the design of Jeskai in the set. This like copy permanence theme is just so cool. Wow, look at this. Double lightning helix. You don't have to use them to copy permanence. That's the part that intrigues me about it. You can copy spells too, but the fact that they can copy permanence, ooh, there it is. So we're one mana short. We don't have a way to get that mana. Yeah, let's just cast it as a dragon. Cast the Storebrood, gain some life. Up to 22, big enough to block the grappler at least. There's probably shenanigans here where they lightning helix or something, but I think it's still worth blocking. Even if it goes wrong, that's still fine. Dragonologist. Oh, maybe our opponent just thought we weren't going to block. Dragonologist finds it. Okay, they found a helix, so they can kill it if they want to. I mean, this Stormbrood is not a part of our plan, really. It's just, oh boy, so many Broodlords. One. Yeah, still haven't miscounted. Still 1 mana short, unfortunately. Do we play it as a dragon? Yeah, and I mean, none of those are really worth killing, so I guess we just run this out as a 3-3. As a 3-3. Not the most exciting dragon at the moment. We also get our Overlord, which is nice. If that attacks, it gets us a land that lets us do some hoarding brood lording. Meticulous Archive. Opponent gonna surveil a smidge. I mean, opponent's only, I don't know if our opponent knows how close they are to disaster. Shiko. Opponent's probably feeling all right. They're 29. They got a big dragon. They've cast a bunch of lightning helixes. But they are one single untapped land away from disaster. Terror of the Peaks. I almost regret putting Terror of Peaks in the deck because even though it's very good in the deck, but it kills our opponent too quick. It makes our combos less fun. It's too easy. It's too easy mode. We want to tutor a bunch of stuff and haste up this huge board of dragons. And Terror of the Peaks is like, oh, I guess you're dead now. I mean, I think it's correct in the deck because it wins. It just kills people. But it is a little less spectacular, I would say, than the full-on Dracogenesis combo. We're just going to take it. If they can kill the Terror, then they at least live for a turn. Scroll Shift the Shiko. Sure. That's kind of cute. And then you can Shiko, Scroll Shift the Shiko. And then you can flashback something else, so you get like 1 free extra card draw out of it. That actually seems kind of cool. So Scroll Shift is essentially, why wouldn't you just do the Scroll Shift? All right, they play a Grappler for some reason. Wouldn't it make sense to just do the Scroll Shift? Okay, all right, found it. Dragonologist, number 2, number 3 actually. Gonna find some dragons. And, well, okay. Sorry, opponent. I'm sorry. We're going to kill you the boring way. Hoarding Broodlord. Tear the Peak Shift for 7. And we'll find a Hoarding Broodlord. Yeah, opponent knows what's up. Hoarding Broodlord. Hit you for 7. And Hoarding Broodlord. And this is where Stormscale Scion's just straight up lethal. We don't even need haste this time. We just get the Stormscale Scion instead of the haste. We could also get the haste, but... And Stormscale, Storm count at 5, and that's a lot of big dragons. Well, Tear of the Peak, I guess the Tear of the Peak skill is still kind of cool. It still is pretty cool. Opponent down to 2, opponent down to dead, and yeah, well, we won the dragon battle. That's for sure. Playing some Dracogenesis Dragonstorm combo. Literally Dragon Storming with literal dragons in standard. This hand, it's got an up the beanstalk, so it can't be that bad. Does not have a lot of ramp though. Well, here's Dracogenesis. All right, show us some ramp. Ooh, Vengeful Bloodrich. Stormscale Scion. We also need multiple bits of red mana. I feel like the Dragon Tutor land is actually very good. We don't use it very often, but I feel like there will be times when it's going to be essential. Delnier. Awkward time to draw a swamp. Well, kill your Delny. Shuffle back in the Stormbrood. So your opponent's some sort of Mardu deck. Ooh, Avenger. I have not seen many Avenger of the Fallens. I feel like Avenger of the Fallen, honestly... I don't think the card's going to actually be that good. I feel like it's incredibly high ceiling, and it's probably great against the odds card, but I feel like it's often just going to be bad Zergo in most decks. Found it. Smacks us down to 15. I do think Mobilize is very scary, though. Like, Mobilize with War Leader's Call is probably the sweetest aggro deck I've seen. Well, that's Stormscale Scion, a very sad Stormscale Scion. But it is a 4/4 and it draws us a card. Well, or die. It can also die. That is also an approved action. Death. Opponent. Well, okay, there's the War Leader's Call. Pretty good with Mobilize, because now the tokens are 2/2s and they ping. It's almost like they were built to go together. like someone at WotC really likes War Leader's Call, and like, how can I make a mechanic that'll make War Leader's Call actually good? So if we play this, we go up to 8. I think we're still dead. So we go up to 8. They attack with everything. They hit us for 2 with the tokens. We block here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we still take 9. GG. GG. Mardu. Actually, just War Leader's Call. War Leader's Call is so good now. This hand is kind of wild because it's got 2 up the beanstalks. I don't know if we'll get the mana to do the combo. We'll see. We also have Encroaching Dragonstorm, which is good. If we can combo with 2 up the beanstalks, that's how you can do the, like, oh, okay. And we don't even have to feel guilty because they're also playing up the beanstalk. 3 up the... Jeez. All right, that's a little dirty. I feel like up the beanstalk Tron actually rates pretty highly in the history of Trons and Magic. Don't imagine you lose too many games when you have 3 up the beanstalks. I'm sure it can happen on occasion, but really, that's so much card draw. Awaken the Honored Dead. Well, there goes our up the beanstalk. Good news is, there's more where that came from. Beans Part 2. And let's do some surveilling. Do we want Twin Maw Stormbrood? Yeah, we already have multiple removal spells in hand, and not really, well, it's kind of a awkward mill. 3 lands. Although I guess they probably didn't want to draw 3 lands. We still need multiple pieces to win, but I think that the beans should get us there eventually. Also, our opponent's Sultai. They could have counters. I don't know what this deck is, honestly. Well, Encroaching Dragonstorm. If this resolves, ooh, all right. We're actually kind of close. Kind of close to the Dracogenesis. Well, grab a couple swamps. I don't know. Actually, I don't know if it's worth playing all these swamps or not. My theory with the swamps was, in case we want to cast Broodlord, it's triple black. I don't know if we need to... we've done it like once, maybe. But it's a lot of swamps to play, and they can be awkward sometimes. Although this deck has enough fixing that the mana is usually not a problem. All right, opponent Awaken the Honored Dead. They can discard a card. If they do, return a land or creature to their graveyard to their hand, and opponent gonna say no. Underground Mortuary. And passes. More ramping should we want it. I guess we can play Beans first. Yeah, let's play Beans number 2. Draw a card. And then play the forest. You know what? Let's just draw some cards and blow up the beans. Let's play Disruptive Stormbrood. And when it enters, get a blow up an artifact or enchantment. It's kind of like the new Acidic Slime. I miss actual Acidic Slime because it can blow up lands. And I feel like, ooh, Fangkeeper familiar. All right, that makes sense. Our opponent wants to keep their beans, and that is probably smart because beans is pretty good. We're still kind of in great shape, though. I mean, we still have 2 beans, and we're getting very close to having the mana to Dracogenesis, at least. Actually, I think we have the mana this turn. We just don't have the Dracogenesis yet. Although with 2 beans, we should find it eventually. Do we play? Yeah, let's play the Terror. I feel like this is kind of like, yeah, I'll play the Dragonland first. Draw a couple cards. This is kind of like a bait Terror. Pretty sure this Sultai deck is going to have an answer to it. Well, there's Dracogenesis. Kind of fine with it dying, honestly. And then we'll do a little ramping. So I imagine Terror of the Peaks. Rakshas's Bargain. Pretty good with beans. That's the funny thing about them not banning beans is, like, as they're saying they don't want to ban beans, we also got all these new hybrid cards that just work so perfectly with beans. All right, there's the removal spell. That's fine. That's fine. We didn't want to win with that anyway. We want to win the cool way. The question is, do we go for it next turn? I think the answer is yes. Like, even though we don't have Hoarding Broodlord in hand, we can Dracogenesis, we have 2 beans, we can trigger beans, we can draw like 8 cards at least with what we have currently. So there's a pretty good shot. All right, there's a second beans. Pretty good shot that we'll draw into what we need eventually. Assuming we... Oh my god, okay. All right, well, Corey, would you like to learn about how to combo with Dracogenesis in Standard? Opponent's tapped out, the coast is clear, so let's have some fun. Dracogenesis. Step 1, free dragons, draw 2, and there's a Hoarding Broodlord. Well, it's Broodlord. Draw 2. And get a Broodlord. And now we might Broodlord. And draw a couple cards. Actually, we got to make sure we don't draw too much and mill ourselves out. Maybe 2 beans is actually... Nah, we're fine, right? We're going to be fine. Broodlord. This does lead to... Like, I think we honestly probably could play through our entire deck here if we wanted to. Broodlord into Broodlord. Get another Broodlord. Draw. We don't really need to go any further, though. So the last Broodlord, get the Song of Tanzan. Stormscale Scion, so we get a red dragon. Actually, 5 red dragons. Oh, Stormscale Scion actually seems so good in this deck. Make a big board, draw a couple cards, and last but not least, Song of Tanzan. Tap a dragon, haste up the rest, and kill ya. Dracogenesis. This deck is so wild. I'm so glad this deck exists. Like, oh my goodness, this deck's so cool. That hand looks fine. It is kind of funny that something we haven't talked about much is Wizards actually kind of did put Storm back in Standard. I know it's only on 1 card, but even that is shocking. Storm is one of the, from Wizards' perspective, least likely to return to Standard mechanics of all time. I really love, and this is something I said like a couple of years ago, and I'm glad Wizards doing it. When it comes to like, they could have made Stormscale Scion and not put Storm on it, right? And be like, well, we didn't bring Storm back to Standard, and just have it be, when you cast this, copy it for each spell cast before it this turn, like a 1,000-year Storm or something, like an unkeyworded Storm. We also saw like Rotcursed Rakshasa have Decay on it, even though Decay is not actually supported in the set. Ooh, are you gonna duress our Dracogenesis? Don't do that. Well, there will be repercussions, opponent. I'm just saying. We will not be merciful. We will not be merciful. The dragons do not like their Genesis being messed with. Well, that's encroaching Dragonstorm. Draw some cards. Or ramp some lands, which is actually even better than drawing cards at the moment. I just always got card draw on the mind. Grab a couple lands. But I'm glad that Wizards just keywords that stuff. I had said a while ago, like, if you're going to bring back a mechanic, it's easier, I think, for players if it has the keyword there. Because that means when I see Storm, I don't need to read 3 sentences to know what Storm does. I can tell you what Storm does. So I think it's there, even Decayed, like, oh, I can't block, and if I attack, I gotta sack it. Like, there's some intuition to that, which I think makes the game easier. So I'm glad that they used to have a pretty hard and fast rule of, like, if the mechanic's not in the set, we're not gonna put that mechanic on the card. I'm glad they got it. Oh, God. I'm glad they got away from that. But that is an Ugin the Spirit Dragon, which Ugin, I think, has been impressive, although... Oh, Monument to Endurance. All right, opponent also blows up some of our ramp. I found Ugin to be really good, but I'm not sure Ugin is going to be good enough here. So we're going to grab Dracogenesis. The bad news is we don't actually have another Brood Lord, so I don't think we win this turn. Yeah, Ugin blows up our 7-drop for free. Yeah, Ugin's good. Ugin's very good. Ooh, Liliana. Okay. Awkward. Our deck isn't really designed to deal with planeswalkers. I mean, I guess we can still just have a turn. Even if we can't win, we can make a pretty impressive board. Found I'm gonna draw with the monument, draw with the monument. Is it worth it? So the problem is, so we can make a very impressive board. The problem is we're going to lose our Dracogenesis to the Ugin, so I'd really love to win the game the turn we do it. Like, if we just play a bunch of dragons, I'm not sure that's actually enough for us to win against the setup our opponent has with Ugin and Liliana. So let's draw with up the Beanstalk. There it is. There it is. Okay, that is the piece we were missing. We really want to win all in one turn because of the Ugin being able to blow up Dracogenesis. So if we just play it and like, oh, play a couple Storm Broods or something, yeah, maybe it works. It could, definitely a chance that it works, but there's also a chance our opponent just goes Wrath, blow up your Dracogenesis, and then we're done. By waiting one more turn, now we get to do it all at once. Opponent gonna take out the Lily, draw with Ugin, we will discard one of the Storm Broods. Our opponent's gotta be a dragon deck, right? They're playing this silly, are they just playing that Dragon Mana Rock just as an artifact? Hadron Archive gonna blow up the beans. Yeah, Ugin popping off. Well, speaking of popping off, we're gonna pop off pretty spectacular here because we have 2 Stormscale Scions. Opponent, Ritual Chamber, make a demon. A 6/6 flyer. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, 3, my god, oh my god. All right, Dracogenesis. It is Dragon Party time. So, play the Storm Brute, gain some life. Storm count, increasing up to 2. And then Hoarding Broodlord. This should be pretty good. This should be pretty good. Get a Broodlord. Where's our... Oh, we already lost one. Right. Ugin exile one. Broodlord. Into a Broodlord. And then, how about a Broodlord? Into a Song of Tauntaun. And now we do just a smidge of storming in Standard, which I still can't believe is a thing, but... I'm enjoying it now. Stormgale Scion. Storm count at 5. Pump the dragons. Make the dragons. How far do we go? Do we go all the way? I think we gotta go all the way. No disrespect, opponent, but we gotta play our entire hand this time and see how much damage we can deal. Stormscale Scion number 2. Storm count at 6 this time. So our dragons are all getting plus 12 right now. One more. Stormscale Scion number 3. Tron assembled with Storm. How much damage are we dealing, chat? How much damage are we dealing? Let me know in the comments. Can you calculate it before they die? Stormscale Scion and Song of Tauntaun. This is gonna be hundreds. 300? Around 300? Song of Tauntaun, haste up the crew and kill Liliana. No, we'll go face. And opponent gonna take a casual. Wow! 572 damage, and well, that's how you Dragonstorm in Standard with Dracogenesis. So what do we learn this week about Dracogenesis Dragonstorm? And record-wise, we went like 8-5 with the deck, although it was during early access day, so I don't really care about records. What I care about in early access day is how does the deck feel, and also, like usual, doing spectacular things. And I gotta say, this deck felt way better than I expected. Heading into this, I was thinking, okay, I mean, it's an 8-mana enchantment. You need the Broodlord. You need all these things to go right. It's probably going to be kind of hard to pull off, but it turns out that we pulled it off very, very consistently. Yes, sometimes we get run over by aggro. That's a thing that's going to happen, but it's actually super easy to ramp up to 8 mana. And once we get to 8 mana, we just straight up win the game. We saw the combo be really consistent and also incredibly spectacular. I think our best combo kill, we had all 3 Storm Scale Scions with Storm count up to like 7 or 8 or something, and we ended up dealing 500 damage with our big attack. But the plan actually worked really well. Also, shout out to some of the lesser dragon cards. I think my biggest takeaway from this deck, and one of my biggest takeaways from early access day, is dragons might actually kind of be legit in standard. I don't want to read too much into early access day because I know the meta is different and everything, but I expected the dragons to be kind of casual, good commander cards. But this deck actually felt really powerful, and a lot of the individual dragons also felt very solid. I think the Omen dragons, the flexibility of having removal on top of the body, actually very, very strong. So those felt good. I was surprised at how good Encroaching Dragonstorm is, and we're not even playing like all the things you can do with this card. It also combos with Dragonback Assault, the 6-mana enchantment that deals 3 damage to everything. When a land enters, you make a 4/4 dragon. It combos with that. We don't have it in the deck. I couldn't find room for it. It would be good in the deck, but I just couldn't find room for it in the deck because I needed all these combo pieces. But those enchantments also really impressed me. So I gotta say, overall, I think it's possible that there's actually a Dracogenesis Dragonstorm combo deck in standard. We'll see. Maybe this is all, magical thinking. And when we get to the real world of Hopeless Nightmares and Up the Beanstalks and Monstrous Rages, maybe it won't work out as well. But this deck actually felt pretty smooth and pretty powerful. And the combo kills are just absolutely amazing. So that is Dracogenesis Dragonstorm. That's our first Against the Odds deck from Tarkir Dragonstorm. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.